I killed my best friend with a single eye, and the funny part? She thanked me for it before the pills hit her system. The millionaire's daughter, Lila Voss, had everything: daddy's billions, a penthouse view of the Hollywood Hills, and a smile that could charm a parole board, but she chose to drag me down with her, framing me for the embezzlement that should have been her father's dirty secret. Now, as I stand over her comatose body in this sterile Malibu clinic, whispering the truth into her four-dripped ear, I wonder if revenge tastes sweeter when it's served with a side of mercy, or if I'm just the monster she always said I was. My name's Finley Harper, and if you Google me, you'll find a ghost story. The loyal nanny who stuck it out with the Voss family's impossible princess while everyone else bailed for saner gigs. It started 3 years ago, fresh out of community college in Pasadena, when I answered that Craigslist ad for a live-in caregiver. Discreet, flexible hours, top pay, it read. No mention of the chaos. I was 22, drowning in student loans from a half-assed psych degree, and the Voss name screamed stability. Richard Voss, tech mogul, founder of VossNet, think early Facebook, but with more crypto scams baked in. His wife had split years back, leaving him with Lila, their 25-year-old miracle baby, who'd survived a childhood car wreck that left her with migraines, trust issues, and a personality that could curdle milk. I showed up for the interview in my one good blazer, palms sweaty, expecting a tearful kid in pigtails. Instead, Lila Voss lounged on a white leather sectional in their Brentwood estate, scrolling TikTok, her legs draped over a coffee table worth my rent. She was stunning: porcelain skin, raven hair in a messy bun, green eyes like shattered emeralds, but her vibe screamed "fuck off" before she even spoke. Richard, all silver fox and a cashmere sweater, did the talking. Finley's resume is impeccable. UCLA volunteer work, crisis counseling cert. She'll handle the episodes. Episodes. That's what they called Lila's breakdowns. Nights when the headaches turned her into a screaming banshee, hurling vases at mirrors, accusing shadows of plotting against her. The last nanny quit after Lila locked her in the wine cellar during one. The one before that sued for emotional distress. Me? I needed the job. I'll stay as long as you need, I said, shaking Richard's hand. Lila snorted without looking up. Good luck, newbie. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Week 1 was a blur of NDAs and non-competes. The house was a fortress. Smart locks, cameras in every corner, a staff that ghosted at 5 p.m. sharp. Lila tested me immediately, spilling red wine on my uniform during dinner, then accidentally forwarding my emails to her daddy's board with snarky annotations. But I stayed cool. Grew up in a trailer park off the 101, dad a meth head mechanic who bailed when I was 10, mom waitressing doubles till cancer took her. Tough love was my love language. By month 2, we'd hit a rhythm. I'd brew her chamomile tea at midnight, talk her down from ledges, literal ones, like the infinity pool roof, whispering stories of my old life to drown out the pain. That's when the betrayal seeds sprouted. Late one night, post-episode, Lila crashed on my shoulder in the media room, binging old rom-coms. You're not like the others, Finn, she slurred, half asleep. They see dollar signs. You see me. I bought it. Hell, I lived it. We became confidants. She'd spill about Richard's affairs, models half his age, boardroom blowjobs for venture capital. I'd share my scars. The foster homes, the boyfriend who OD'd senior year. We're both orphans in this gilded cage, she'd say, clinking our stolen bourbon glasses. But Lila Voss wasn't built for equals. She was a Voss, entitled, electric, a live wire waiting to spark a fire. The first flip came innocently enough. Richard's company was tanking, whispers of an SEC probe over falsified earnings. Lila, fresh from a Stanford dropout stint, fancied herself the savior. Daddy's too soft, she'd rant, pacing her suite with its ocean view balcony. I can fix it. Just need access to the offshore accounts. I laughed it off, kid stuff. Until I walked in on her at his desk, fingers flying over keys, siphoning funds into a Cayman Shell Corp. What the hell, Lila? She didn't flinch. It's not stealing if it's family money. And you? You're now. Witness protection. She slid me a flash drive. Your cut's on there. Enough to buy that dream house in Echo Park.
I starret, gut twisting. 20 grand.
Life-changing. But wrong. This is fraud, Lila. Felony shit. Her eyes hardened, that emerald glint turning cold. Or it's survival. Daddy's bored, wants him out. This buys time. She stepped closer, voice dropping. You tell, we both drown. You're the help, Finn. Who do they believe? I pocketed the drive, heart hammering. Betrayal #1. She made me complicit. I told myself it was temporary. Just hold the line till Richard fixed it. Months blurred. The loans grew. Hundreds of thousands funneled through dummy apps Lila coded in her downtime. I'd run interference. Fake alibis for her late nights, shredding docs when the maid was near. Richard suspected nothing. He doted on her, blind to the rot. My girl's a genius. He'd beam at galas, arm around her waist. I'd stand in the shadows, uniformed and invisible, sipping cheap champagne while she networked with VCs like a shark in Louboutins. Then the heat came. IRS audits, whistleblowers. Richard's stress aged him a decade. He'd pace the study, popping Xanax like tic-tacs. Lila flipped again, charming him with consulting ideas, positioning herself as heir apparent. Finley's been a godsend, she'd say, winking at me across the breakfast nook. Keeps everything tight. I played along, but the drive burned in my drawer. Evidence. My escape hatch. The night is shattered. A board meeting gone south. Richard stormed home, face purple, slamming doors. They're coming for me. That bitch auditor found the transfers. Lila cornered him in the den, me eavesdropping from the hall. I did it for us, Daddy. To save Vosnet. He backhanded her. First time I'd seen violence in that house. She crumpled, cheek blooming red. I burst in, pulling him off. Get out, he roared at me. You're fired. But Lila, ever the actress, sobbed into my arms. Don't let him send me away again. Please, Finn. Send her away? Flashbacks to her stories. The Swiss boarding schools, the rehab stints after the wreck. Richard softened as always.
Fine.
But clean this up. Both of you. We were in it now, thicker than thieves. That's when the real scheme unfolded. Lila confessed over midnight tacos from the food truck on Sunset. The embezzlement wasn't just padding accounts. It was leverage. Richard's old partner, a guy named Harlan who'd vanished post-IPO with millions, was back, threatening exposure unless Vosnet paid up. Daddy covered it up once, she said, sauce dripping from her tortilla. Made it look like suicide. But Harlan's alive, and he's got proof. Suicide? Harlan's death was Voss legend, yacht accident off Catalina. But Lila had docs, forged coroner's reports, Richard's emails begging for silence. My stomach dropped.
You want me to? What?
Blackmail your own dad. She grinned, feral.
No.
Protect him. We plant the trail on Harlan. Frame him for the fraud. Feds nail him, Daddy walks. It was genius, twisted, airtight. She'd hack the ledgers, I'd courier the evidence to an anonymous tip line. My role? The fall guy if it blew back. Plausible deniability, she called it. You're the outsider. They'll buy your desperation.
Schuld veveran.
Booked it to my sister's in Reno, flash drive in tow. But loyalty's a bitch, and Lila played it like a Stradivarius. You're my sister, Finn. The only one who stayed. So I stayed. Dropped the package at a FedEx in Van Nuys, heart in my throat. Watched from afar as the feds swarmed Harlan's Miami condo weeks later. Vosnet stock rebounded. Richard threw a party, caviar towers, Jay-Z DJing poolside. Lila pulled me aside in the guest bath, slipping me a velvet box, diamond studs. For my ride or die. I wore them to bed that night, whispering thanks to the ceiling fan. Betrayal #2. I was in love with the lie. With her. The Voss dream. America, baby. Pull yourself up. Chase the shine. Ignore the rust underneath. But rust spreads. Harlan lawyered up. Flipped the script. His team unearthed discrepancies. Timestamps that pointed to the Voss estate IP. Subpoenas rained down. Richard cracked, confessing to me in a bourbon haze one dawn. I did kill Harlan. Pushed him off the boat after he skimmed the IPO. Lila. She found out. This fraud? It's her covering my ass. His eyes, bloodshot, pleaded. Help me bury it deeper, Finley. For her sake. For her sake. The words hooked me. I'd borne her episodes, her tantrums. Now this. Carrying the weight of murder like a secret tumor. I nodded numb. Became the archivist. Digitizing old files, wiping servers, even posing as a concerned employee to leak red herrings to TMZ. Lila noticed, of course. You're a natural, she'd purr, painting my nails in her vanity while E. played scandals. But her flips accelerated, sweet 1 hour, venomous the next. She'd ghost me for weeks, jetting to Coachella with influencers, then crash back, needy and raw. Daddy's turning on me, she'd cry. Says I'm the weak link.
He was.
Richard's paranoia bloomed. He installed more cams, grilled the staff. Caught wind of my tips to the press, Lila's idea, to muddy the waters. Who the fuck authorized that? He bellowed at me in the kitchen, knuckles white on the island. I froze, but Lila swooped in, all tears and deflection. Finley's just loyal, Daddy. Like me. He bought it, but the seed was planted. Trust fractured. Summer hit like a heat wave, tensions boiling. Lila's episodes worsened, blackouts where she'd wake screaming about the wreck, blaming phantom drivers. One night, she cornered me in the garage, eyes wild. I know about the drive. The money you took.
Lie.
I'd never touched it. But doubt crept in. Had she planted it? You're playing me, Finn. Just like everyone. She lunged, nails raking my arm. I shoved her back, hard. She hit the workbench, tools clattering. Bruise bloomed on her hip. Assault, she whispered, straightening. I could say assault. My blood ran cold. Lila, please. We're family. She laughed, bitter. Family? You're the maid with a crush. Flip 3. From sister to suspect. She didn't press charges, not yet. But the threat hung, a guillotine blade. Fall brought hurricanes, of the legal kind. Harlan's lawyers deposed Richard, dredging up the yacht accident. Vosnet's board ousted him in a coup, installing Lila as interim CEO. She thrived on it, press conferences in power suits, fist-bumping Elon on X about disrupting disruption.
Me?
I was her shadow executive assistant now, fielding hate mail, dodging paparazzi at the gates. The diamond studs felt like shackles. Richard retreated to the guest house, a husk nursing scotch and grudges. She's destroying everything, he'd mutter to me during my check-ins. Really mercy visits with contraband smokes. That girl. She's got my darkness, but none of my remorse. I'd nod, biting my tongue. Remorse? For Harlan? But crack showed. He'd slip, details of that night, the splash, the way Harlan begged. I had to, Finn. He was going to take it all. Take it all, the empire, the legacy. American dream's dark underbelly. Build it on bones. Defend it with blood. Lila's flips turned vicious. She'd summon me to boardrooms, dressing me down in front of suits for incompetence, then text apologies at 3 a.m. Miss you, sis. Come swim. I'd go, every time, treading water in the pool while she floated on a raft, spilling guts. Harlan deserved it. Daddy's a hero. Hero. The word curdled. But I stayed, hooked on the highs, blind to the hooks. Then the bomb. Thanksgiving. Family dinner, just us three in the echoing dining hall, crystal goblets, turkey carved by a ghost chef. Richard raised a toast. To survival. Lila smirked. To winners. Midway, she dropped it casual as pie. Finley's been holding the Harlan files. The real ones. Fork clattered. Richard's face strained. What files? Lila leaned in, eyes gleaming. The ones proving you murdered him. She's got backups. Insurance. Lie. Total fabrication. I destroyed everything months back. But Richard lunged across the table, grabbing my wrist. You bitch. Selling us out. I yanked free, chair toppling. It's not true. She's lying. Lila's laugh echoed. Prove it. Or watch Daddy go down. Flip 4. Ally to accuser. Richard bought it hook, line, expelled me on the spot, security tossing my duffel to the curb. Rain lashed the driveway as I stood there, soaked, the estate lights mocking me. Called my sister. Need a couch. But Lila texted first. Come back. Daddy's raging. Need you.
Stockholm. Nah.
Addiction. I snuck in through the side gate. Code still worked. Found her in the study, curled fetal. He hit me again, she sobbed. Said I'm the reason Harlan's ghost haunts us. Bruises on her arms, fresh. I held her, rage simmering. Against him? Her? Us? We'll fix it, I whispered. Plan hatched. Expose Harlan's accomplices, real ones from the old ledgers. Bury the murder deeper. But Lila twisted it. While I dug, nights in dive bars nursing IPAs, charming ex-employees for dirt, she flipped to seduction. You're wasted on loyalty, she'd murmur, fingers tracing my collarbone during strategy sessions. Kisses in the wine cellar, urgent and forbidden. We could run. My trusts, your smarts, Bahamas, baby. I melted. First time anyone saw me as more than help. Betrayal number 3. She used my heart as bait. December audits hit critical. Feds raided the estate. Warrants for financials. Forensics on the yacht logs. Richard cracked wide, confessing to Lila in a meltdown I witnessed from the vents. Yeah, I was hiding, paranoid. I pushed him. God forgive me. She recorded it, phone propped on the mantel. Daddy, you're safe with me. Safe? She leaked snippets to her lawyers, negotiating immunity. For herself. Him? Leverage for the throne. I confronted her poolside, dawn breaking bloody over the Pacific. You sold him out. Your own father. She shrugged, towel drying her hair. Survival of the fittest. Darwin, bitch. Her eyes flicked to my neck. Diamonds gone. I'd pawned them for a PI on Harlan's trail. Those were ours. Ours? Nothing's ours, Lila. You made sure. I laid it out. The flips, the frames, the files that never existed. She denied. Gaslit. Classic. You're projecting. Finn Daddy's poison. I'm saving us. Us. Always us. Till it wasn't. New Year's Eve sealed it. Gala at the Beverly Wilshire, Vosnet's Resurrection Bash. Lila in Dior, me in borrowed black, demoted back to +1. Richard ghosted. Hold up. She worked the room, but midway, pulled me to the balcony, overlooking the boulevard. Fireworks popped, champagne fizzed. I love you, she said sudden. Pulled a ring, platinum, emerald cut. Marry me, after the dust settles. Shock froze me. Love? Or lock in? Lila. The feds. Fuck the feds. We testify together. You corroborate my story. Daddy confessed, Harlan blackmailed. We walk. Inherit it all. Her plan? Perjure. Frame Richard fully, me as witness. Immunity for us, empire for her. It's poetic, she breathed. Revenge on the man who broke us both. Broke us. The wreck, her mom's drunk crash, Richard's fault for serving her too much at a party. He'd walked free, plea deal. Now, payback. But me? Bearing false witness meant perjury, disbarment from any future, psych dreams dead, and soul rot. I can't. Her face twisted, hurt to fury in a blink. Then you're out. For good. She hurled the ring over the railing, into the night. Flip 5. Lover to enemy. I left the gala in an Uber, tears mixing with glitter. Crashed at a Motel 6 off La Cienega, scrolling news. Vosnet shares tanking, Richard arrested for questioning. Lila's ex-feed. Cryptic quotes about shedding skin. Dawn brought resolve. Revenge. Not gunslinging, too Hollywood. Calculated. American. Sue the bastards dry. Expose the empire's underbelly. First move. The flash drive. Dug it from my safe deposit box in Glendale. Lila's original fraud logs, untouched. Hired a shark lawyer on contingency. Elena Vasquez, ex-SEC. hungry for white-collar scalps. This is gold. She grinned over coffee at Earth Cafe. Embezzlement, conspiracy. We sue for wrongful termination, emotional distress. Nail M for the lot. But Lila anticipated. My bank accounts froze. Voss influence. Elena's office vandalized. Warnings. Drop it or swim with Harlan. Fear gnawed, but anger fueled. I went public. Op-ed in the LA Times. The Voss betrayal. How America's tech darling chews up the help. Went viral. Voss whistleblower trended. Protests outside the estate. Pickets at board meetings. Lila countered slick. Presser denying all, painting me as unstable ex-employee, bitter over a consensual breakup. Breakup? We'd never labeled it. But the narrative stuck, jealous dyke scorned by the heiress. Online sleuth stalks me. Trailer trash, foster kid, gold digger. Death threats ping my burner. Richard reached out via smuggled note from county. She's the devil, Finley. End this. End it? I visited him in lockup, orange jumpsuit clashing with his tan. Help me, he begged. Testify truth. I'll give you half. Half the remnants, millions. Tempting. But truth? I'd buried it too deep. Twist one. Lila flipped back. Midnight call, voice cracking. Finn, they're coming for me. Daddy ratted. Said I orchestrated the fraud. Panic real. Feds had his plea. I need you. Please. Old hooks sank deep. I met her at a neutral spot. Griffith Observatory. Tourists milling under the planetarium dome. She looked wrecked. No makeup, hoodie hiding the bones. Marry me still? Half joke, half desperate. We talked hours, stars wheeling overhead. She admitted the flips. Bipolar, Finn unmedicated. Daddy's genes. Vulnerability cracked her armor. I softened. One chance. Full truth. We turn ourselves in, together. She nodded, tears.
Deal.
But as we hugged, her phone buzzed. Text from her lawyer. Target acquired. She pulled back, eyes shifting. Sorry, sis. Flip 6. Reconciliation ruse. Security swarmed. Private. Voss hired. They zip-tied me, tossed me in a blacked-out Escalade. Destination. The estate. For your protection. She cooed from the front seat. Protection? Or prison? The basement wasn't a wine cellar. This was deeper. A panic room turned cell. Concrete walls humming with HVAC. A cot and bucket my luxuries. Lila visited daily, through the reinforced glass, trays of gourmet slop. Monologues on the plan. We'll ride it out. Feds burn out. Daddy takes the fall. You? My secret weapon. Secret weapon. Coerced testimony. Cameras rolled 24/7. Her shrink on payroll diagnosing me delusional. Build the case. Unstable witness. Recant the op-ed. Days bled to weeks. I scratched tallies on the wall, rationed water, plotted. Elena filed missing person. Where is Finley exploded? Protests swelled. Hollywood liberals decrying tech feudalism. MAGA types cheering drain the swamp. Polarized, perfect. Lila gloated via intercom. See? They eat it up. You're famous, babe. Famous. A tweet from a podcaster. Finley Harper, hero or hoax? Debates raged. Forums splitting on class, war versus mental health stigma. I laughed through tears. American as apple pie. Turn pain to spectacle. Escape attempt 1. Shorted the lock with a bobby pin from the tray. Alarms wailed. Goons dragged me back. Lila watching from the stairs. Naughty, sheet sked. Therapy tomorrow. Sessions with Dr. Voss Peril. Gaslighting 101. Lila loves you. This is tough love. Tough love. Like Richard's backhands? But cracks in her facade. Night feeds caught her pacing upstairs, muttering to Richard's empty chair. Why'd you make me this way? Episode brewing. I played it, moaned in pain. Drew concern. Goon slipped. Boss ladies cracking. Migraines back. Opportunity. Meanwhile, outside, Elena sued Vossnet for kidnapping, citing the basement blueprints, leaked by a maid I'd tipped pre-grab. Shares plummeted. Lila's board turned, coup whispers. She flipped frantic. Finn, testify for me. Say, Daddy forced you. We split the settlement. Through the glass, desperate. I stared blank. Why should I? Because I pause. Because you're me. Broken, but unbreakable. Vulnerability again. Heart tugged, but revenge whispered louder. Let me out first. She did, partial. Unlocked door, but guards lingered. We talked real. Her wreck nightmares, Richard's post-trauma rages. He blamed me for Mom's death. Said I distracted her. Layers peeled, child's guilt weaponized into adult venom. I flipped on you to test. If you stayed, we'd be free.
Test.
The word ignited. I stayed 3 years. You flipped 6 times. I grabbed her wrist, mirroring his old grip. Now test this. Slapped the recorder from her hand. It shattered. Guards rushed, but I bolted. Upstairs, through kitchen, out French doors to the pool. Spotlights blinded, shots cracked, blinks warning. Dove in, fully clothed, swam for the fence. Freedom tasted chlorine sharp. Scaled the ivy wall, dropped to the neighbor's yard, some Saudi prince's empty McMansion. Uber to Elena's. I'm out. War room assembled. Press, PIs, feds tipped anonymously. Climax brewed. Lila's trial loomed. Fraud, conspiracy. Richard plea bargained, ratting her fully. My daughter masterminded the cover-up. Blackmailed me, with the recording. She countered. He groomed me. Abuse since the wreck. Courtroom circus. Team Lila versus Justice for Harlan. I was star witness, subpoenaed, prepped by Elena. Stick to facts. The basement, the coercion. Let the jury smell the rot. Testimony day. Downtown LA courthouse. Swarm of cameras. I took the stand in a crisp blouse, no makeup, raw America. Recounted it all. The fraud hook, the flips, the basement hell. Lila Voss didn't just betray me. She broke me to build herself. Gasps rippled. DA nodded, defense shredded. Ms. Harper has motive, romantic rejection, financial grudge. Lila testified next, a vision in cream linen, tears artful. Finley was my rock. But she stole files, sold stories for fame. I locked her away to protect her from herself. Jury murmured. Polarizing. Victim or villainous. Her eyes met mine across the room, pleading, then steel. Flip 7. Contrite to combative. Cross-exam gutted her. Elena produced the recording. Lila's I love you balcony plea, time-stamped pre-kidnap. Sounds genuine, Elena purred. Or manipulative? Objection overruled. Lila cracked. Migraine hit mid-question, screaming, clawing air. Bailiff restrained. Courtroom chaos. Medevac to Cedars-Sinai. Mistrial buzz. But I wasn't done. Revenge's second act. The twist. While she recovered, I met Richard in a Koreatown dim sum joint, neutral, bug-swept. What now? He rasped, age to leather. She'll burn us both. I slid a thumb drive, new one. The yacht logs. Real ones. Harlan's accomplice? You. But there's more. Bluff. I'd faked addendums. Lila's juvenile hacks into his accounts. Prereq. She started the skim. Age 14. You covered, then killed to stop it. His face ashen. Lies. Truth enough for the DA.
Pause.
Unless you flip for real. Testify she knew about Harlan from the start. Pushed you to it. His eyes darted. Father's love versus survival. For what? Mercy? For her. Rehab, not prison. Clean slate. Lie too. I'd ensure no such thing. But he bit.
Deal.
Trial resumed sans Lila. Competency, hearing sidelined her. Richard's testimony detonated. My daughter. She discovered Harlan's theft young. Urged the silence. After the murder, she helped stage the body. Jury gasped. Evidence mounted. Her old laptop, recovered, with yacht cords pinged that night. Verdict. Richard. Guilty accessory, 15 years. Lila, conspiracy lead, 25, pending appeal. She raged in absentia, ex-rants, patriarchy's final fuck you. Free Lila trended, supporters rioted outside, class warriors seeing her as oppressed princess.
Me?
Elena's cut was fat, settlement from Vosnet, 7 figures. Bought that Echo Park bungalow, started a non-profit, caregivers' rights. But nights, ghosts visited. Lila's texts from psych ward, you won. But did you? Attached, our pool kiss photo, time-stamped. Polarizing climax. Readers split. Was I Avenger or opportunist? Richard the monster dad, or Lila's first victim? Her flips, illness or inheritance? Debates fueled podcasts. Finley Files episodes dissected us like JFK tapes. Spring bloomed ironic. My new life a glossy Instagram lie. Therapy in Silver Lake, yoga with influencers, even a TEDx talk. Betrayal's blueprint. Escaping toxic empires. Applause thundered. Book deal followed. But the twist loomed, that final gut punch debate sparker. Lila's appeal dragged, endless motions psych evals. Richard rotted in Folsom, letters smuggled. You saved her soul, Finley. Thank you. Soul? I burned them. Then, June heatwave, her lawyer called. Visitor. Insists. I knew. Drove to the women's facility in Chowchilla, Central Valley, dust devils swirling like accusations. Processing, padons no llevelri. Her cell block. Stark, but she owned it. Tattoos peeking from state blues, hair cropped fierce. She sat across the plexiglass, receiver heavy. Looking good, winner. No venom, just dry. Thinner, eyes haunted. Congrats on the house. Saw the pics. Stalking. I gripped the phone. What do you want? Forgiveness?
Nah.
Truth.
Lean in.
The wreck? I hacked Mom's phone that night. Knew she was wasted, texting her lover. Told Daddy. Make her stop. He did. Distracted her at the wheel. Bombshell. You pushed the crash? Her nod slow. Guilt's a bitch. Harlan? I goaded him to skim. Test Daddy's spine. When he cracked, I whispered the yacht invite. Watched from the dock.
Watched.
Not pushed. Witness. But complicit. The flips? Covering tracks. You were collateral. Collateral. The word hollowed me. Why tell now? Twist. Fin appeals got a loophole, diminished capacity. But I tanked it. Pleaded straight guilty.
Why?
Eyes softened. You stayed. Everyone quit. Even Daddy.
Pause.
Love you still. Always did.
Love.
The debatable dagger. Heroic redemption. Eris owns her darkness. Spares the Empire further bleed? Or manipulative endgame. Guilt tripped me into advocacy. Spring her early? Forums exploded post-visit leak. Yeah, I journaled it. Elena shopped excerpts. Lila confession. Half hailed her woke reckoning. Others con artist coda. I drove home silent, 101 blurring to memories. Her laugh in the media room. Our midnight swims. The basement's cold bite. Revenge complete? Vosnet crumbled, rebranded, gutted. Richard died in custody, heart attack. Whispers of foul play, Lila's doing. Nah, too tidy. I had the house, the cause, the scar tissue strength. But endings ain't tidy in America. Last hook, her final letter, pre-transfer to Gen Pop.
P.S.
The pills? In the basement drawer. For you if it gets bad. Or me, if I break. Pills, Oxy stash, her episode escape. Mercy or murder kit. I flushed them at the sink, watching swirls vanish. Now, as I sip black coffee on my porch, Hollywood Hills mocking from afar, I wonder, did I shock them all by staying, through betrayal's gauntlet? Or by leaving, torching the dream? Readers argue in comments, Finley's the real villain, destroyed a flawed family for clout. Versus, nah, she's the survivor. Vosses earned the grave they dug.
Me?
I sleep sound. Revenge isn't justice. It's the gray space where right and wrong fuck and fight. And in that arena, nobody wins clean. But damn, it feels alive.